Frustration comes when we are unable to do what we think we should be able to do, and frustration can hit at any level. Hey winner, I'm Gabe Cox of Red Hot Mindset, and I am glad you're here. My mission is to help you overcome your mental barriers in the race of life, and I post new videos every Wednesday about success mindset, dreaming huge, and crushing goals. Frustration can come at any time, so how do we push through it? Keep watching to find out. I broke my ankle 7 months ago, and I have been in recovery ever since. About a month ago, I began the process of learning how to run again, and I am telling you, it's been a hard journey. The most frustrating part of the injury is that I feel like I should be further along. It was almost easier knowing I couldn't run than now getting back into it expecting that I should be able to run. Now that I appear back to normal, I'm frustrated because I'm not quite there yet. Normal is not a word I would use to describe where I am currently at. I know you can relate. I'm pretty sure I'm speaking right to you and you're thinking of something that's been frustrating to you because you feel like you're working, but you're not seeing the results you want quite yet, though you feel like you should have already arrived. Give me a aha in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about. But here's the thing, when something happens, I'm talking injury now, but it could be any roadblock. We don't go back to normal just like that. It takes time and patience. It takes work to get back to where we were and beyond. Usually it's not an easy road either. It doesn't mean we can't get there, but it does mean that it's going to take time to do it, and that can become so frustrating. Especially when you were so fit and healthy prior to the injury, and you find yourself unable to do what you want to do. That's the definition of frustrating. And I get it because I'm right there too. Frustration comes when we are unable to do what we think we should be able to do. Frustration can hit at any level. So how do we push through and get on the other side of it? Today I have 3 strategies for you to try. The first one is to begin a gratitude journal. Reflect on the good in your life. If you stop to think on these things, you'll realize even in the midst of injury, even in the midst of struggle, you have so much to be grateful for. Every day, write down 1 to 3 positive things you're thankful for. Some days you may have to dig deep and find something, but do it anyway. This is so powerful. And don't just think them, actually write them down. There is magic in pen and paper. It helps us to reflect differently and solidify our feelings. In the midst of my own injury, here are some things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful it was only my ankle. It will heal and it could have been much worse. I'm grateful for good friends who brought me meals, who just came to visit so I wouldn't be lonely sitting around all the time. I'm grateful for an understanding husband who could take my frustrations because many times that's who I let it all out on. I'm grateful my kids helped around the house. My oldest learned how to do laundry since I couldn't climb up and down the stairs to do it, and he still does it every week, mostly unprompted. I'm grateful for a running community who encourages me to continue growing stronger and not quit on myself. I'm even sometimes grateful for the injury itself, which sounds really strange, because even though I wouldn't have asked for it to happen, and it honestly stinks, I have learned more about myself and how to overcome in the last 7 months than I have in a long time. I also know life would have continued to just be a never-ending busy season for me had I not been forced to slow down and reflect on what's truly important. That brings me to the second thing, and that's to take the time to assess your life. Are you where you should be? Are you doing the most important thing right now? Where's your focus at? Is it in the right place? While recovering, I've had time to look at my life and shuffle some things around. I've been able to eliminate some things that aren't what I need to be doing and aren't driving my greater vision. I've been going, and I never really seem to find rest, which in turn means no peace and less joy. We weren't made to be busy and stressed all the time. Even though it seems normal, it's not. Injury stings, but let it work on you and create a simpler life, a peaceful life. Assess if there's anything you can or should let go of, and just do it. Lastly, find a new passion to fill the void in your life. Running has been a huge part of my life, and when all of a sudden it was taken away, it was like I lost a part of myself. I went from running an average of 6 to 8 miles a day to nothing. I went from working out at least an hour a day to struggling to complete even 15 minutes a few times a week. My VO2 max dropped from 52 down to 40. my passion for running or even just working out was taken away for a time. Thankfully, it's not forever, and I'm up to running about 10 minutes 3 days a week. Now that doesn't sound like much, but to me, it's progress. But in order to keep from going in a downward spiral and letting my injury lead to a depression, I chose to find a new passion that could take the place of running for a season. I began writing more and found so much joy in it again. I began to realize the gift I hadn't been using the way I should have been, but the love for writing came flowing back. What's a passion you could have or could develop? Replacing running with writing helped me take my focus off my injury and how miserable I could have been had I chosen to wallow in my misfortune. I chose to live positively through it and grow my mental toughness even more. Injury will do that for you if you allow it to. Our injuries are temporary. Our roadblocks, some much greater or more traumatic than others, are temporary. If we choose to use them as learning experiences, we will get through them. It doesn't mean we won't have frustration or bad days. I've had many of those, but it does mean that we rise above them. We let them work on us and choose to focus our attention on the good in our lives instead of our setback. If we choose to find a passion in the meantime, we will be victorious and maybe even find a love for something we didn't know we even had a gift for. Recovery from injury or life's issues takes time and patience. Tears will come, frustrations will linger, but they don't have to define you. Today's quote comes from author T.F. Hodge, and he says, "To conquer frustration, one must remain intensely focused on the outcome, not the obstacles." Don't forget to let people in. If a friend offers to help, let her. Don't steal her blessing. She wouldn't be asking if she weren't willing. And don't seclude yourself. Include your family and friends in your recovery journey. It's easy to get into isolation when injury strikes. It's okay to let down your guard and be vulnerable with those you love. Let them in. Let them see your pain. Let them be there for you because you know you'd want to be there for them if the tables were turned. If you like today's mindset, give it a thumbs up to let me know so I can build more content like this in the future. I have an Injured Runners series that I've been creating, and I'll link that right here for you if you need to catch up. Don't forget to light up that subscribe button and share with others who may enjoy this mindset. I'm sharing my 3 favorite books that help me dream again next week. So if you have a hard time building your own dream or want some suggestions, make sure to hit that bell so you don't miss it. And remember, you are a winner, just run your race.